Hello, namaste everyone. I hope you guys are doing great. Today, let's talk about the Venus transit in the sign of Leo. And the purpose of making this video is because Venus here is going to join the planet Ketu. So it is going to be a conjunction of Venus and Ketu in the sign of Leo. This is going to happen on 15th of September 2025 till 9th of October 2025. So for like almost 24 days, they are going to be together. So what would be the implication? That we are going to study today. Before that, if you guys are new to my channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you get regular updates. Also, if you would like to have your personal readings from me, you can check out the link in the description box, www.anmollastrology.com. Under reading and unique reading section, you can book a personal reading for yourself. Under the courses section, personal you can book online course for yourself, and you can even ask me or request me if during that duration I am conducting one-on-one classes, because I am currently conducting one-on-one classes. Okay, so let's get started now. Before we dive into how this is going to affect all the ascendants, all the zodiac signs, we need to learn that what is the meaning of Venus and Ketu in the sign of Leo. So, Venus, the planet of luxury, love, romance, your income, your relationship with the family, your relationship with the spouse, your ability to balance the relationship, your ability to bring in settlements, your ability to, uh, collect collectibles or luxury or your possessions, because naturally Venus is the lord of the second and the seventh house. So everything related to the spouse, everything related to the partner, everything related to the family, assets, money, food, lifestyle, everything is what Venus governs. That's why it is one of the important planets for luxury. Then we have Ketu. Ketu doesn't have the head, it's only the body. It is the planet of research. It's a karmic planet, planet of detachment, but causes early attachment. Only then the detachment happens. It's a self-sacrificial planet. It's a competitive planet, very similar to the energy of Mars, and co-rules the sign of Scorpio, the 8th house. That's why it basically activates transformation in a person. Now we have the sign of Leo, the 5th house, your intelligence, your intelligent mind, your emotional intelligence as well, because it is second from the 4th house. Leo is the confidence, is the pedestal, it's the fame, it's your education, romance, your internal nature, your reactions, how you take a decision. What do you think of before taking a decision? How do you react? That is the sign of Leo. It's your creative self, it's your artistic self, it's your dramatic self. So many celebrities, many people who are associated with luxury and with performance, theater, they are associated with the sign of Leo. Now we have Ketu already in the sign of Leo. So Ketu already being there is actually creating a lot of attachment and detachment from the sign of Leo. First of all, Ketu being in the sign of Leo, it is going to create confusions in your own decisions, in your own personality. Sometimes you can become very egocentric with your decisions, with your reactions, and at the other time you can become quite submissive and quite unknown to what is happening in the world and what should I react. So Ketu is just like the sign of Pisces. Ketu is the extremist planet. It is called as the extremist. Whenever it goes to one side, it decides on something, it is going to go to extremes of it. And that's where the research ability and research nature also comes in, because you start digging deep. You don't know where to stop. So Ketu being in the sign of Leo, it's already giving you the journey of self-consciousness, your self-confidence, and huge reactions, huge sudden reactions because of the presence of the sign, fire element. And then you put Ketu, the planet who has a mixed element of earth and fire altogether. You put that into that scenario. Now you are in the process to build your confidence in regards of to that area where Leo is present. Now what happens? Now Venus also enters this. Venus also gets attached with Ketu. First of all, what it will do, it will form a story for these 24 days starting from 15th of September. Your ego, your self-esteem, confidence will be challenged through your association of love, relationships. Definitely not the best time to enter into a new relationship or to even get married during these days, right? I know many of you will have a thought that Navaratri is in between this timeline, so why not get married in Navaratri? That is there, but every Navaratra would not have such a conjunction. So what it does is it brings in past resentments, because Ketu is the past planet, it's the karmic planet. Whenever Ketu and Venus join in any sign, it makes you have realizations. It makes you have resentments from the past, where you start that comparison, because Ketu is a planet of comparison. Ketu in the ascendant or Ketu attached with moon, you will always see people comparing their emotions to other, comparing everything, regarding anything related to others. And this is a placement, I call it as self-sabotage. These people self-sabotage in love, in their profession, in their income. So the detachment doesn't cause instantly. It's not like that if a person is born with Venus and Ketu, they are going to detach instantly. Not at all. If you are going to have this in transit as well, it's not that like suddenly on 15th of September, you wake up and you feel, oh, I feel detached from love. There might be something, I just don't want love. I just don't want a relationship. Not at all. It will make you attach deeply to the idea of love. It will attach you deeply to the idea of luxury, lifestyle, creativity. And then when you attach deeply, you start getting that criticism. You start being critical. People give you criticism. You start becoming critical. Oh, this person was saying this, might be this. I need to get back with my actions. I need to be careful. I don't want to hurt myself. You will become self-conscious. With Ketu is a very self-conscious planet. Whenever it gets active, it gets associated with any sort of planet, any house, you become very self-conscious there. You become very careful, very, very, very picky of that area. Like Rahu in the first house, you'll always see them being very picky about their spouse, being very picky of the choice of the spouse as well. That's your critical judgment which comes there. So what you'll do is you will experience critical judgment regarding your personality, your presence, your persona, your confidence, and your matters in love. That will start making you super conscious and overly critical of yourself. And that's where the transformation in the matters of love, in the matters of confidence, in the matters of creativity comes in. Like, for example, if you're a designer, you made an absolute brilliant design and you think that you have made the best. You go to your boss, you go to your mentor, you tell them, this is my design. And they are like, this is just waste of cloth. They don't appreciate it. They become overly critical of that design. But you thought, this is what I'm telling you in regards of this placement. You thought that you have done the best because you actually did researched a lot. You did a lot of hard work to be there, to make that dress. but it was not appreciated. That made you go and, think that what was wrong, where I didn't do good, why I was underappreciated, why I was not appreciated, I deserve more. Why did this happen to me? Now, if your Leo placements or the planets which are there, if they are nicely placed, if there is a certain planet which is in strength, like Sun is there, then what it will do? It will make you go back again, work on your product, on your dress again, and bring out the best. And then you are going to be self-conscious that whether or not my boss will like it, and that is the time when your boss is going to like it and appreciate for your work. That's what this Ketu does. This Venus and Ketu combination does. Then first it detached you from the ego, right? It crushed your ego. It cut your ego with the blade, with the sword. And then it was like that you were like, now my confidence is coming back. Now I understand where I was wrong. I did something better. And you will always have that in your mind, that this was the lesson I learned. That is the kind of situation we can experience. Like, for example, if there was Saturn, you already have Saturn in the sign of Leo, and then you have Venus and Ketu there. Same situation. You will get offended because Saturn is not healthy in the sign of Leo. You will get offended and you'll be like, I don't want this job. I'm going to change this job. I don't care about it. I'm going to sit alone, sit back at my home, but I'm not going to do this job because you didn't appreciate me. You took it in a wrong way, right? And then you did an action based on that, because your decisions matter when it comes to Leo. Similar themes can happen in love. The resentment from the past can also come from the love. Like, when you're romantically associated with someone and you're not appreciated, you will start looking back. You will start thinking that why did that particular relationship of mine, where I had such a good romance, such a passionate romance, why didn't it work out? Then if you are going into a relationship, for those who are not into a relationship, they might be very critical of relationships during this time. But once they get into a relationship, they are going to get into the relationships where the foundation is strong, where the connection is spiritual, because you have gone through that journey. Now you have come to that settlement. You know that what do you desire, what do you want. So that is the journey we are going to experience for these 24 days. So being highly critical of all the matters of Venus, all the matters of Leo is going to happen. And wheresoever this conjunction is happening, that is the area where the first swear attachment will occur, and then the detachment would occur. Okay, now just let's quickly go over the zodiac signs. So this is the Muhurat chart of this particular transit. Okay, so Muhurat chart is Gemini ascendant, and we have now Venus is in the 3rd house with Ketu, Sun, and Mercury for the Muhurat chart. Although on the same day, Mercury is going to move away because Venus is going to enter, as per Indian Standard Time, it is going to enter in the midnight of the 15th of September. And I guess Mercury is going to enter on the same day in the morning, as per the IST 11:10 a.m. So it is going to move ahead. Sun is also going to move in a few, like in a day or so, in a day and a half, right? So Venus and Ketu are going to be alone there. But of course, the first few days, like the first 2 days, are going to be highly critical because of the presence of Sun and Mercury also there, right? Although Sun is the Lord, so of course the dispositor is going to work for the well, but still it is not a very good conjunction to be happening for the 15th and 16th of September. So be careful with your associations with wherever the sign of Leo is. Be a little more observant and a less more reactive. within that area. And then ultimately, Venus and Ketu are going to be sitting alone there. The karmic point is going to get activated. And at the same time, Ketu is one of the destiny givers. And it is also one of the planets which is going to take you towards your destiny. So trust me, whenever I see Ketu traveling over someone's Venus, or I see Ketu and Venus connection in the natal charts, I know in the transit chart, sorry, in the gochar, I know that this person is going to get what they are destined to do, but the journey is going to be difficult. Okay, so it's a deep attachment which you will also very surprised with, and then it's a detachment. So for the sign of Geminis, it is in the third house. You can be overly critical of others' appearance and your own efforts, your own skills. I think the example that I gave, you know, with the dress or the creative thing, I think that was very apt here, because this particular transit is going to affect the third house. This is the Muhurat chart, right? So it's a lot of learning experience. It's where everyone is going to receive the wisdom, is going to receive a very emotionally aligned wisdom from their embarrassments, from their judgments. Like, they are going to get judgments regarding their skills. And definitely this is a time which is very, very skill oriented. So we people are going to align towards enhancing our confidence with our skills, with our expertise. Venus Ketu in the third house, a person is going to be blunt with their approach to love, blunt with their approach to relationships. You might detach if you have any online partner, you might detach from that person, you might break up using online medium. You just will drop a text that I'm breaking up with you. And because of that, you will shut down your communications, you'll not be reachable. That is the kind of scenario this person with a Gemini moon or a Gemini ascendant could do with their female friends, with their partners, anyone that you had online. So there can be a detachment from there. But of course, you're going to be highly critical of your own self, because the all of this could have been triggered because of whatever you have had in your mind. There could also be you reminiscing the memories of the past with a past person, and because of that, this could be triggered. For others, this is a highly creative time. You'll be researching about creative endeavors, about mythology, about artistic things, and you'll be very precisely learning that and following that. Okay, Venus is the lord of your 12th house and the lord of your 5th house. So definitely the detachment from the love, but the attachment towards your skills and towards your hobbies and towards your creative self-expression. This is also a time where an actor, or where a theater artist, where a designer might take some time off to grow back powerfully, to improvise and transform your own skills. So there's going to be some transformation in your surroundings as well. Okay, maybe in your home, maybe in your surroundings around your home, there could be something getting uprooted and then rerouted again. And similarly, you will also have uprooting of communication with the younger sibling and with your close friends, close sibling, and you will be transforming the way you react with them, the way you act with them, the way you communicate with them. Okay, next we have the sign of Cancer. For Cancer individuals, Venus is the lord of your 11th house and your 4th house. That is coming into the second house. That means your skills, your expertise, your recognition is actually coming from something related to the second house. That could be something where you are the person who's going to speak, who's going to give lectures, who's going to use your speech, use your financial understanding, your financial research, so as to give advices. Of course, you will be very much aligned aligned and inclined towards a luxurious lifestyle, but in order to detach from the idea of materialisticness, the idea of what is, what is the importance of money. And this would lead you towards spirituality, and that would be the lesson that you're going to learn. But definitely you would try to do something either related to financial management, or related to speech, related to finances, speech, lifestyle, or singing, or any artistic endeavor using the second house. Okay, but definitely this time period of Venus Ketu conjunction is your inclination towards spirituality and your detachment from your overgiving nature towards your family. This could be unasked blessing towards your finances, your assets. Your money is going to grow. Even though you are not expecting it, it is going to be a sudden growth which is going to come around. Next is Leo. For Leo individuals, this is happening in the first house, right? Along with that, Venus is the lord of your 10th house and your third house. You are refurbishing your skills. You are, just improvising your skills. You want to do something with your skills. And in this while, you might isolate yourself. You might get alone. You might have a strong feeling of being heartbroken, heartbreak, especially for the people who already have Venus in the sign of Leo, anywhere. They might feel that heartbreak because that's the natal placement coming around again. You will also be very much connected with your social circle at the same time. You would go on communicating with people, like mindlessly communicating, right? And just gossiping, telling everything, which telling all the secrets out, which you might not have done, which you should not do. But it's like this, that period that we go through when we have a breakup. We start on talking to other people. We start talking our heart out without even knowing what consequences this energy of us could bring, this communication of us could bring. That is the time period exactly which it might create. So please be very, very careful of what you're communicating, especially in your social circle. It's not necessary that your social circle is working for the best of you. So you don't need to justify yourself in front of your social circle for whatsoever reasons or whatsoever happens in your life, either related to your job, or related to your career, or related to your personal life, your relationships. You don't need to justify yourself. Trust me on this. The more you'll go justifying yourself, the more you're going to align yourself into problem, the more you're going to dig deeper, the hole for yourself of problems. Okay, but definitely this is a time which could bring about a very transformative scenario within your work and within your job scenario as well. Be very careful of defamation during this time. Next is the sign of Virgo. For Virgo individuals, this is happening in the 12th house, a very, very spiritually aligned time. This is the time when you'll attach so much. And the spirituality could be there either because of you thinking of something related to the past, or you feeling very addicted to something, either addicted to love or addicted to maybe substances as well. Okay, even addicted to work. This Venus is the lord of your 9th house and lord of your 2nd house, going into the 12th house. First of all, you're going to do expenses, random, reckless, mindless expenses, but some of them could be for the provision, for the providing of someone, like providing for someone, or you feel that I need to provide for my family, I need to surprise them, I need to do something for them, and you're going to just start spending a lot of money. At the same time, you will also get realizations of how you have wasted the money, and you need to have back, have back the control of your money, right? Absolutely, this is a time where you can travel. Your travel can be initiated. Your money can either go to overseas or come from overseas. There's a major transformation, or the good thing or the big thing is that you might spend your money either in the form of donations or in the form of you traveling to overseas, so you're spending money there, spending money over spiritual reasons, spirituality. Maybe you are doing some donations, maybe you are doing some seva, some bhandara. Bhandara is when you have a halwai and make a lot of food, and then you distribute that food among all the people in the surroundings. Okay, so that's about it. But subconsciously you are going to be very critical minded, and it will also trigger dreams. It will trigger dreams for you. Sleepless nights, sometimes it's so sound that your intuitive mind or your third eye gets activated. So deep sleep, but you wake up in the middle of the night because of some very, intuitive dream that you get, some very weird dreams that you get. Okay, now next we have the sign of Libra. For Libra, Venus Ketu is in the 11th house. You are going to get unasked recognition from your social circle. When you least expect it, you might get it. You might detach from the social circle, but you will actually work very practically towards your social circle, right? Very practically, like you, in order to gain something. Now, Venus is the lord of your first and the 8th house. Your secrets, your suddenness, and your personality, your expertise is going towards the 11th house. You will face the biggest change in your confidence. Trust me. You might have been an introvert, and you are definitely not an introvert person with a Libra ascendant, but you might have been a person who doesn't feel comfortable to represent themselves in front of public, in front of large groups. But this is going to change the dynamics. It is going to reform, change, absolute change within your personality, within your persona, and your association with your desires. This is the time which is going to bring about a significant change in your desires. There can be an interaction with someone from the past, a past friend, or talking with people about the past. Right? So, this Venus and Ketu coming into the 11th house, it's like unexpected gains, but unexpected fall offs, unexpected fallbacks. All right. Now, next we have the sign of Scorpio. For Scorpio individuals, this is happening in the 10th house. Venus is the lord of the 7th and the lord of the 12th house. If you are in a partnership business, you may feel a lot of problems in the partnership. You might even want to just get it done with. Even if it is your partner will be highly critical of you. They'll try to dominate you. They'll try to become the one who is all the time reacting and being very overly critical of you. On the other hand, you will require to make a lot of efforts towards your career, because your career needs your attention and your mindless working, like working for longer hours. That's what your career needs. Your career needs research. Your career needs efforts. Your career needs your skills to come about. So lots and lots of changes are there in the way you put up your stand, the way you think, the way you research, everything. It's like a time period where you have to work without even expecting anything, without even thinking of what the consequences would be. And definitely research is a major element which is going to happen within your work, which your work is going to require you to do. And there's definitely a major transformation associated with your work life and with your relationship as well. Just be very careful. And one thing is there, you're changing your confidence. Maybe you are a, since it's Scorpio, you might have been a very private person, secretive person, introvert person, but now you are finding your confidence, you're finding your light. Okay, so now next we have now the sign of Sagittarius. For Sagittarius, Venus and Ketu are transiting the ninth house. Whenever such a conjunction happens in the ninth house, that means you become quite rigid with your approach. Ninth house is your belief system. It's how you take your higher understanding. It's not just the higher learning, but it's also how you take up your higher understanding and imply it as your belief, as what do you want to stand for. So when Venus and Ketu comes there, a person becomes highly critical of their surroundings, of the teachings, of the concept of spirituality, everything related to that. And also, this is the time which would feel as if there is just a blessing, a uncalled blessing, which is going to be there, that is going to lead you towards spirituality. The only problem that it could create is with aggression, with offensive nature. You can feel quite offended easily. You can feel that aggression, that sudden snapping out, and all of those things. It also detaches with the idea of luxury, of money and everything. It will first attach you a lot with that, and then it will develop an understanding or make something happen which would develop an understanding to within you that money is not everything. My peace of mind is something which is utterly important for me. So then you will, that is the journey, that is a journey a person is going to go ahead with during this duration. Since Venus is the lord of your 11th house and your 6th house, you would want to do something good with your health and nutrition. You would want to do research on your daily basis, research on some subject of mythology, astrology, or any research oriented subject to enhance and improvise your skills. On the other hand, it could also cause a detachment or a sense of realization regarding friendships, and especially the past friendships. Right? So Venus coming in the Bhagya Sthan is definitely a good placement when it comes to luxury, enjoyment, and your perspective towards world, right? But it will bring that with some transformation. When you will least expect it, then you will be able to get that money, get that fulfillment of your desires, your goals. Okay, so next we have the sign of Capricorn. For Capricorn individuals, this is happening in the 8th house, Venus and Ketu conjunction. Venus is the lord of the 5th house and the lord of the 10th house. There's something very transformative to be happening with your career. And that particular transformation with your career is also going to require for you to research, to go deep within your skills, your knowledge, your understanding of the skills of the creative self to make something new, to make something brilliant. That's what it stands for. Venus and Ketu coming into the 8th house also gives you deep attachment with spirituality and spiritual subjects. So this is the time when you will be more inclined towards this occult science, astrology, and everything related to that. You'll develop interest into that because you would see something very uprooting, something very different happening in terms of your life, something very sudden coming towards your way. Maybe it's a sudden detachment from love, maybe it's a sudden detachment from the money matters, maybe something comes up, something surfaces which shows you that there's a conflict which has suddenly arisen and now you have to deal with it, right? So that could be the scenario because of which sudden conflicts and sudden property related issues could arise, or you have to fix certain part of the properties as well, because of which you will be like that, why this burden is coming over me, why this has suddenly come over me, so now I need to figure it out. Okay, so that's what is for Capricorn. Now for the sign of Aquarius. For Aquarius individuals, already it is a very transformative time for you people. But definitely, this time has made you learn a lot of things, learn how to survive. Whenever Rahu transits the first house, it gives us the expertise of survival. It shows us the reality of life and how do we need to survive in this society. That's what it calls for. Now, this particular transit is happening in the seventh house. You already have Ketu there. You already are in the journey of detaching from the idea of partnership, idea of love, because of the back and forth karma you're going through regarding your own self growth and your detachment or your transformation with the partner, with the idea of love as well. But at the same time, this particular timeline would basically make you neglect the spouse, make you neglect the the love towards the spouse, either because you're caught up in so much of problems by yourself, you have so much things on your mind, so naturally, voluntarily or involuntarily, you are going to feel detached from the love matters. This could also bring in detachment, or a break from love, relationship, or even marriage. It's like that either you will be forced to move away. Like, for example, a couple just got married, but they have to live in different countries, or they have to go back. Like, one of it, it's very usual that the person comes in, they get married to their bride, and the groom has to go back to another country and then wait for the bride to come there. So that could also be a situation happening. But this transformation is going to be towards your understanding and towards your behavior of balancing your relationship. Your spouse can require and would demand actually a lot of attention from you, right? So your devotion lies there, but your devotion is going to come about after a deep detachment feeling. Now, this Venus is the Lord of your fourth house and the Lord of your ninth house. So definitely there is some higher lesson that you are going to learn through the relationship, through the marriage, in regards of your home environment, and your like higher understanding. It's like a reality check that is coming towards your way because of a relationship, because of a partner. Okay. Now, next we have the sign of Pisces. So for Pisces individuals, this is happening in the sign of, in the house, in the sixth house. Whenever Venus and Ketu comes in the sixth house, this is not the best time for an individual, because what happens is that you become too debatable, like you become too argumentative. Each and everything will act as an argument for you, especially in relationships. In relationships, you'll be like that, oh, it's just a matter of saying something as minute as possible, and you'll be just like, that how did you say so? This is not it. No, no, blah, 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 all of that stuff. So it makes a person debate a lot. It requires you to balance your health. I think this is something I've been telling so much about Pisces, that Pisces individuals, they have to take care of their health. They have to avoid vehicles. They have to avoid travels for some time, because this is not the best time for you to be indulged into that. This can create, sudden events for you, like sudden accident like events, or sudden visits to the hospital, and taking care of your health. Your health needs your attention, your nutrition, and everything needs your attention. Venus is the lord of your third house, and it is the lord of your eighth house. See, the third and the eighth, the two houses which are associated with the abrupt things, impulsive things, or sudden things to happen in our life, that is coming into your sixth house. So it could bring about sudden disputes, suddenness in your work life. It could bring about suddenness in your daily routine, in your health, right? So definitely be aware of vehicles, be aware of traveling, and efforts are much required in the sixth house right now. You need to balance your debts. You need to get done with your debts, but at the same time, you need to look for your health as well. Okay, and the relationship also doesn't seem very good to me, because it's like that you and your partner are not just coming towards one decision in something. You guys are not talking the same language. There is a lot of opposition, and even a lot of opposition in the matters of your workspace as well, with your colleagues as well. But be careful of any female association within your work environment and with your colleagues, right? Now, next we have the sign of Aries. For Aries individuals, this is happening in the fifth house. Actually, according to me, this is a beautiful placement for the Aries people. Having Venus and Ketu in the fifth house is like, you are here to learn. You are here to learn the beauty side of spirituality, beauty side of some kathas, maybe the Gita. You are here to learn something. You are here to maybe learn or read Quran, Gita, or any spiritual book of any religion. You're just finding that beauty and devotion towards mythological stories and mythology. At the same time, you will be very much interested into shares, speculation, and investment into shares. You'll be very attracted to that. And looking at the gold prices nowadays, I think so many people would actually be doing the day trading in gold, or maybe just investing in gold, because it is just going on the hike. Like, I think the last time I decided that I might get a coin, right? That time it was 98, and I did actually get a little bit of gold. Then it was 98,000 rupees INR, but in some time only, it is now 1,12,000. Can you believe it? I think it's not even a matter of a month. It wasn't, it was just a matter of some days that this happened, right? So, in the fifth house, a person also feels too attached to the idea of love, but then detaches with the idea of love. So, it can bring about opposition within your relationship, within your marriage, or even a breakup within your, relationship, romantic relationship. And I don't know why I'm getting it, that for this is funny. This might resonate with some of you. Maybe your partner or your spouse found out about something related to your love encounter, and then now you're detaching from that love encounter, or maybe your past. That could even be there. The combinations are showing me that. Okay, but definitely this is a time where you do have a lot of fears, but you would require a lot of courage to deal with certain things. But everything which is happening for you is happening for your growth. You are going to learn not just the life lessons, but also you're going to learn academically, as in you're going to get more knowledge, right? Next, we have the sign of, and that is the last one, we have the sign of Taurus. For Taurus individuals, the first lord and the sixth lord is Venus going into the fourth house. You are trying to change something, change some dynamics within your home. You want to go away from your home, from your homeland. You might want to travel, you want to go away and settle somewhere else and beautify the small space that you are going to have for yourself. So definitely you're going to bring about changes within your home, architectural, structural, or maybe just the interiors, right? At the same time, there is some conflict that you may arise with your mother, right? Your mother can, it's something related to the past that you're remembering, either in regards of the mother, or there was a past conflict between you and your mother which has surfaced now and which you have to deal with. Your mother might either be detached at a distance from you or is detaching slowly from you. The relationship doesn't seem very healthy right now, but this is a karmic pattern that you have to go through before you develop a spiritual understanding with your mother. Right now I do feel it has been difficult to deal with her, but soon you will you will develop a kind of spiritual understanding with her, right? There are realizations that are coming your way in regards of your mother as well. Okay, this also shows that you're definitely going to dive into something very, very creative research, right? And you are going to do that in your free time, and you're going to start that into your career. Okay, guys. So, yes, this was my analysis about Venus and Ketu conjunction in the sign of Leo. I hope this helps. We'll see you with the next video. Bye bye. Take care.